see how he's going on like this? He feels like when babies are not swaddled when they're this young, they feel unsafe. It's like they're falling. You know that feeling like you're falling in your dream? You're so squirmy, little Herbert. Here, take that out. See? When they feel unsafe, it's like you're falling. So the tighter you wrap him, the more he feels like he used to be in you. Because he's used to being in such a tight space. Why did you tell anybody you needed diapers?
I don't know. I could buy my own diapers.
But no, when people say, what do you need? It's because, like, you could spend your money on something else. You know what I mean? Like, you can get...
I don't want people to spend all their money on me.
Ain't nobody spending all their money on you.
No problem accepting gifts.
But you know what? People love you. They want to, like, be there for you. And diapers, that's not like a gold ring or whatever. That's diapers. He shakes a little bit.
I know. They said it could have been stress, like when I was pregnant or whatever. That's why he does that, because it's startled. That's what I think it is.
No more stress in your life, okay? Tell Mr. Man to hit the road. For real, the yelling, tell him to get out when he yells. You know what I mean? That it does affect the baby. You know, not just you. He's not just hurting your feelings, but look. You know what I mean? If the baby's shaking, you don't want to build that defense stuff with him already. When Herbert gets mad, tell him to go take a hot smoke. Outside. Go to the pool. Here. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye, baby.
I just slowed down when I started working at the center. I don't sell as much drugs as I used to. But I understand I don't sell drugs. Because I need the money. And I can't get full-time here. But the center does a lot for me. Like, keeps me doing something positive. I'm going to get my GED, but one class right now is enough for me. Because I haven't been to school for a long time. So I'm just trying to take a little bit at a time. Because if I do too much, then I'm not going to get it done.
No. It says admissions this way. Is this the admissions office? No, I'm here to fill out the application. There's somebody coming to admissions.
Oh, this is the bookstore.
Do you know what my educational goal is to get my GED first. And then I'll take, what is it, sociology? How you say it? Sociology? Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be the first in my family to be somebody. Go to school.
Nothing. This is the first time we're doing it. Kind of recuperate.
Go ahead and get in on
Yeah. This lady was on TV today. She was black and her baby came out looking black with blonde hair, blue eyes. With like I was fighting with her.
Don't say nothing.
Okay, no, we can't.
Are you okay?
You know, I'm a big girl.
Yeah, but there's him now.
This time I started it though. This time I punched him first.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I've seen it time and time again when the women start coming up in their lives, feeling more confident, they get broken down very quickly. Stephanie, before she started working at the center, was not abused like this by him. You know what I mean? She has power in her life now. She has agency as a whole, in general, the community. That to him is dangerous.
My father was a Vietnam veteran, and he got addicted to morphine. So when I came back here, I guess he did heroin and stuff, and he died of heroin like I was 4 or 5, got heroin. I've always had a little streak. Even as a little kid, I used to hit people because I don't know. I felt like my whole life I always had to fight for something, because I was always smaller or something.
Stephanie's been on the streets and surviving, and she's actually doing a pretty good job of it. She doesn't have any charges. She just has a warrant for running. And it's really quite amazing that she's managed to not get arrested. I don't know how she's managed to do that.
Well, I have a lot of little problems with the juvenile court still because I didn't complete my program. And I have a warrant. I talked to the public defender, and she told me that I should go into court and get my warrant cleared, but I'm not going to do it if they try to give me probation or anything like that.
If she were to come in on her own, it would be a lot better. But the likelihood is that one of these days she's going to get arrested. And that court will take that as a sign that because she didn't turn herself in at some level or another, that she can't be trusted. The court will look upon the people that harbored her as accessories and not want to return her to them. What happens is things get more and more complicated. She has a child now. If she's with the kid at the time that she gets arrested, they'll take the kid to a temporary shelter. And then that may start the ball rolling in terms of making that kid a dependent of the court because the mother is going to be arrested.
Take your medicine before you came? I have to take my medicine, Shane, that's everyday life. Right now, my mom's doing good. She's still on methadone, but I'm used to that, so that really don't bother me. But, my mom is a real happy person. That's my queen, my African queen, Shane. My dad left. It was just me and my mom. I love my mom all my life. I always, we've been so close. We are so close. When I was young, if she used to go somewhere, I never used to like to leave her side. I just stopped sleeping with her until I was 13 years old. I used to say, when I was younger, I'm not going to do no drugs. I'm not going to do that stuff. It was hard for me seeing my mom go through all of that. And I was shoplifting, and I went out to the neighborhood and started selling drugs. It was I had to help take care of my mom.
So, Shangri-La, you're playing phone tag, but what's happening?
I was just unable to reach you.
What about school? Where are you living?
Nowhere. I couldn't go to school because of my living situation.
You cannot stay at Najra's?
I could, but I don't want to stay there.
Because
she don't want my mom to stay there.
Well, right now, what we can do is to settle the charges, okay, for something less than what you're charged with, and continue your case a good month and a half, 2 months away to get you stabilized. So if we get you stabilized, the question is, do you have any idea where you're going to live?
These kids, the quality of the life that they're living is unimaginable. Their worlds are very, very small. There are kids in San Francisco who have never seen the ocean. And the farthest from the ocean you could get is 7 miles in the city.
Why we're here together is because we sort of wanted to talk about what happened on Thursday. So what we decided to do is to, in fact, let Sheila go from the organization, which is a big deal, you guys.
I can't tell my parents that I got fired because they'll think that I ain't responsible no more, and that if I tell them what I got fired for, they're gonna believe it because the drugs, everybody just think I'm all bad. It's gonna hurt me, and y'all gotta find some way to give me some money.
There's two systems in the juvenile system. There's delinquency and there's dependency. Who would be considered a dependent child versus a delinquent child?
My relationship with the Center for Young Women's Development is acting as a friend and a consultant and a mentor to them as they continue to help other women.
Like you can scare someone and then...
One of the things I do is I teach street law, which is a curriculum for youth which teaches them about their legal rights and responsibilities. Your parents aren't home, your mom was drinking, dad may have abused you, no one taught you the difference between wrong and right. Now you're up all hours of the night, smoking, drinking, having sex, being crazy at 11, What ends up happening is when we ignore kids who are abandoned, they are left committing crimes in order to survive. The system comes back and then punishes them for those crimes. They're considered a delinquent, and that's when they're brought into the system and treated as such.
We are dependency or status offenders.
When boys come into the system, there are already programs for them.
Yes.
With girls, because there's not enough services for girls, they're much more likely to receive what's called conditions of probation than boys are. Go to school, you have a curfew, you're drug tested, all the different structured restrictions. Probation tells you you need to be home at 6 o'clock every day. I mean, to an average parent, to an average child would say, I can do that. Okay, because, dinner's at 6. But what if there is no home? What if there's just a hotel, or you're living with grandma, or you're living with your aunt who smokes crack? You don't want to be in there at 6 o'clock, or you have more money to make to pay your rent. And if a girl is not able to meet those structured restrictions, if she fails in them, that makes her eligible to be placed out of the home. So it becomes this cycle where girls are placed in group homes, and then when she's there, she runs. And because they're on the run, much more likely to need to do survival crimes like selling drugs and prostitution. And when they get picked up again, they have a violation for running from the group home and a new criminal charge, which sets them back in the system to be waiting for another group home. And it's an extremely dangerous cycle, which a lot of girls are living through right now.
Okay, my dad's getting out of jail this month. He's getting out with some more probation and a program, a year program. And he's coming back to live here, which he has a restraining order, but he's still gonna live here. And I can't stay here because he's mad at me. He's mad because I lost my job. And he thinks I'm not doing nothing, which I'm not doing nothing right now, but I will be doing something in a minute. And because my sister had an abortion, he said it's my fault. And she's trying to follow me. And he doesn't think that's right, so he said he doesn't want me ignoring my sister here when he gets out of jail. So therefore, I can't be here unless I want to get beat up, and I'm not. So. I got put out from my family's house. So I just went, I felt like that was my only choice, just go get a room and just take care of myself and my sister. My little sister wanted to come with me because she didn't want me to go by myself. There's no shelter for young people just to go without their parents. There's not too many services out there for women either. I mean, there's all these free clinics, but we can't live in those clinics, We You can't eat in those clinics.
Did you see how bruises she has?
No, I can't go to jail alone. Why? Because I got legal issues. And I'll call CPS because they're bruises.
Look at this. Look at that. Look, it's swollen.
It's okay, I'm fine.
Like, you need to be seen.
I know, I mean, I showed my mom, and she said they just look like bruises that be there for a while.
No,
Yeah, the
don't.
bruises
Yeah,
can be there, but
but
that's not what we're worried about so much. It's internally.
The whole system is tied together, like just like juvenile hall and the police and hospitals have police in them. You know, it's like all like they're all institutions. You know, it just seems all the same to me that everything's connected. There's not like what kind of place you supposed to go to. You know, if you need to go to the emergency room and you can't because there's gonna be child training services and the police breathing down your back. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for him because he took me for granted and he took his baby for granted and I don't know how he should think right now because he put all three of us at risk. And I just thought he cared more, whatever he does, but I don't know. I don't want to say what he did. I'm at a point where I'm really not thinking about the future right now. I'm just trying to think how to fix things now for myself in my life. I feel good though because I made it this far. You know, I'm gonna keep on making it by all costs.
That's how I was raised. If you're being bad, you're gonna get whooped. My brothers, maybe angry, and then I make them more angry, and then that's why I get hit. They do it because they don't like to see me drunk. I think they do it in a caring way. Even though people say when you hit somebody, you don't care about them. But it's not like I sit there. I hit them back too.
If it were just a car case, I would say you fight it. You know, and that would be the end of it. Okay, but you also have a case with a drug sale to a police officer.
This proceeding is placed upon 3 years of supervised probation, standard conditions, additional conditions, that you complete a program of education, rehabilitation, or treatment as directed by the probation officer, abstain from alcohol and controlled substances, chemically test for their presence.
I feel like ain't nobody on my side. You know, like it's me against the world.
say, I quote, I went back out into the streets. I was trying to do the right thing, but it was just still in me and it was calling me back. So I went back to selling drugs, trying to take care of myself. And I got caught like a week after that.
You're in the game. And it's like going into this big, deep, dark cave and you can't find your way out.
This behavior is illegal, but the court orders you to do something, you pay no attention to it.
Your daughter was just in court. You understand that this is the third offense.